Well, you got to check this house out. A house deliberately flattened today by hurricane-force winds. It happened in South Carolina.
And Jim Spencer is here to tell us why.
This is really some eye-opening stuff because it didn't take the kind of wind you would think to completely wipe that house off its foundation. It was actually a demonstration to officially open the doors of a giant laboratory where structures of all types will be tested against all that Mother Nature can throw at them. A typical two-story house constructed to basic standards is no match for 100-mile-per-hour winds generated at this testing laboratory in Richburg, South Carolina. The house collapses and is blown cleanly off its foundation. The 6-story lab has a huge bank of fans, 105 in all, that can blow winds equal to a Category 3 hurricane. The insurance industry-backed Institute for Business and Home Safety officially opened the lab Tuesday with an objective that's simple: find ways to reduce losses in natural disasters.
If people aren't killed, if people aren't injured, if their homes aren't destroyed, if their communities survive, if the business remains in operation, everybody wins.
The fortified house on the other side of the flattened one held up because it had straps that hold the roof and walls together. Stronger nails, thicker decking, better shingles and siding, and a front door that opens out instead of in. Enhancements that cost on average only $3,000. The Institute also plans to focus on how to better protect what's already built.
Because the main danger, the main cost that's out there, the exposure that's out there, is existing property already sitting in harm's way.
The lab's also set up to test what happens to homes during hailstorms and wildfires. So if you're thinking of building a house or doing some remodeling, not that much of an investment. About $3,000 could really protect you in some real serious storms. Well, we don't have anything like that to worry about today. In fact, take a look live across the hill country right now. Our exclusive Llano County hill country camera there showing a partly cloudy sky and temperatures out there in the hill country in the mid-80s in most areas. We've actually seen highs in the upper 80s there in Llano County today. Right now back here in Austin, we are at 82 degrees. Our evening planning forecast taking us to 79 at 8 o'clock tonight and about 74 degrees with clearing skies at 10 p.m. Current temperatures, well, it's still 88 degrees out there in Llano right now, typically one of the warmer locations out there in the hill country. Fredericksburg on the other end of the scale is typically one of the cooler spots down there in Gillespie County, and it's a full 10 degrees cooler right now at the Fredericksburg Airport, Gillespie County Airport, than it is at Llano. 81 degrees in Burnett, Lake Travis, Lakeway area coming in at 81. 84 in Georgetown, 86 degrees, a little warmer off to the east in LaGrange. Partly cloudy and 82 in the capital city right now. Out at the airport it is a bit warmer at 86 degrees, and skies there also partly cloudy. No wind is stirring at all right now in the city. At the airport, the winds are southeasterly at 8 miles per hour. And, of course, every night the sun's getting down there a little earlier. It'll be Central Standard Time here pretty soon. 6:54 p.m. is the sunset tonight. Mold count today in the medium category, ragweed medium and grass low, and that is our allergy forecast again for tomorrow. Fairly similar concentrations, though the molds may be going back up pretty soon because we do have more and more humidity coming in off the Gulf of Mexico thanks to these southerly winds. Now, a little front will be moving in tomorrow and bringing some slightly cooler air our direction, but the front will be in the process of dissipating as it gets here into central Texas, so don't look for anything really that noticeable. 85 up in Dallas today, 85 right now in Waco, but the front is having some impact here in the big country. It's 78 in Abilene, 77 in Lubbock. Along the coast, looking pretty good. 83 in Houston, Corpus at 83, and Brownsville coming in at 82 degrees. Clouds in the sky much of the morning into the early afternoon. Again, looked a little threatening, but we never did see any precipitation here. A few sprinkles in North Texas, some heavier rain from Oklahoma moving over into Arkansas and parts of Louisiana with a disturbance moving out of the plains. The next disturbance that could bring us some rain is this one that's spinning over extreme southwestern parts of California right now. But take a look at what happens with our future storm track model here. This is the storm system there, and as it lifts out, it moves across mainly Colorado, western Kansas, the extreme northern parts of the Texas Panhandle, far enough to the north that we're not sure it'll even bring rain into our area. We will have a chance as early as Friday as that storm system moves out. And then once it continues to weaken and dissipate, it will be replaced by a low-pressure trough off to the west that will continue to bring little weak waves of instability across the state that could generate a rain shower. But again, the models are not very optimistic about that in our area, so we're only going to put about a 20% chance in from Friday through Sunday. So if you have weekend plans, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Showers will just be a possibility in that time frame, Friday through Sunday, but again, less than a 20% chance. And then after that, we will continue to, we will see some drier weather early next week. We are still tracking the system I told you about yesterday. This is an area, it's got a surface circulation now, about halfway between Honduras and the Cayman Islands, and the National Hurricane Center does believe this is in the process of becoming our next tropical depression, so we will continue to track it for you across the Caribbean. Don't think by any means it's going to impact Texas, but could get up into the Gulf of Mexico. Low temperatures tonight. Low and mid-60s, where they've been the last couple of nights. Highs tomorrow, despite that little weak front coming into the area, could be just about as warm as today. Low clouds off the Gulf coming in tonight, a low of 65 in Austin, a high of 86 tomorrow, with skies becoming partly sunny and the wind turning around to the north. Then we're real warm on Thursday, about 87 degrees. On Friday, there's that first chance of rain, just a 20% chance. Saturday and Sunday will continue with about a 20% chance. Now, we may have to adjust those probabilities depending on how this system plays out, but right now it does not look like a wet weekend ahead.